Welcome, everybody. This is the last of four series we're doing with our partners here at AIA. And in this case, today's partners, McKinsey and Tiki. Today's webinar is going to be about the future in the digital age, digital partnerships. I'm Hao, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Vietcetera. So digital partnerships, first off, it's vague and comprehensive, but also super important sometimes. Like, what is partnerships exactly? It could mean a combination of marketing, relationship building, business development, so many different things. And we're very lucky to have the three of these who specialize in this particular area to share more about that. We have Raphael Bick, he's the partner of McKinsey Digital. We have Rich Fram, he's the president and CFO of Tiki. And then we have Ji Havushi, is the chief partnerships officer at AIA Vietnam. What is the purpose of Tiki and AIA joining together in Vietnam?
The purpose for AIA Group, that is to help millions of people to live healthier, longer, better life. So when we step back and looking at 98 million Vietnamese people, we have a golden population. 70% of our population is in a working age. And that is very different than a lot of the countries in the region. And that is our competitive advantage. At the same time, we are facing the fastest aging population. Young people like you, Hao, probably would not want to have many kids in the family, right? Or my parents' generation, they have 10 kids in the family. And in my family, I have only one kid. So the population Vietnam will face a very fast aging population. So then when we look at our 70% working age, what we call golden population, we're actually seeing some very alarming stats that we are not getting older and healthier. There's a lot of disease now that the young people are also facing because of their lifestyle. And that alarming trend is actually not just Vietnam, but it is also other countries in Asia. And that's why we think health is such an important problem for us to gather big organization that we need to help our population to live healthier, longer, better life. So with that purpose, when we're looking for partners, when we look at the traditional insurance company, we have normally agency channel. The second traditional channel that we see is bank assurance channel. And with those two channels, the way that we can bring our purpose to the community, just to give you a quick stat, it took us about 20 years to reach to about 1.5 million customers, but it's not fast enough, right, to reaching millions of people with that purpose. So then we had to start looking outside and we see digital platform is in Vietnam reaching to the maturity stage. That's someone like Tiki, where they're also aligning with that purpose in the healthier, longer, better life. And they have a platform that can reach to 17 million visitors every month. And that is very exciting for AIA Vietnam.
So Tiki, so we start with books when we first launched, then we become horizontal marketplace for physical products. And recently we started investing into digital products. What we want to be able to accomplish is create more and more values for our customer. And in order to do that, for buyers specifically, we want to make sure that there's great quality selections that you can find everything you need. A single stop shop that you'd be able to buy books to your phone, buy a insurance policy. So let's talk about insurance policy, how that fit in. The senior teams from both companies, when we first met, we realized pretty quickly that we truly believe insurance products are great products. That's really helping people, but it's the least understand product in Vietnam. And my CEO and CEO have that conversations. And they just wonder why people just don't appreciate insurance product as much as possible. And when we look at traditional insurance product marketplace, how it's been introduced, how it's been pushed to sell versus been bought, which is really big at AIA model going forward. And it's so refreshing when we met with a company over 200 years old, but they started thinking about digital, how to leverage digital to really bring values that we truly believe together to the consumer in Vietnam and elevate their life through product innovations and how to deliver that product and how to service that product. And that just aligned completely with the values of Tiki from day one is we want to elevate lives. When we met AIA, they say the exact same thing, like they look from the lens of customer. We know what we're good at, but at the same time, in order to provide all the values that we were talking about, like elevate life, to create all the selections and all the services, we need partners. We are not expertise in everything we do. And insurance product, AIA is the expert in this field. And together to leverage the strength of both sides, we can make it so much better, or to achieve the goal that we set out to achieve is to elevate people's life, to protect their life through insurance and risk products. It's just a perfect match in heaven in a lot of ways, especially where AIA keep telling us their emphasis going forward is how to leverage digital network platform. And we said, you basically sing to the choir, right? That's what we want to do. We want to leverage technology, and that's our expertise. And to combine with the expertise from AIA, we can achieve that goal so much faster.
Rafael, my question for you is, how do you spot out those opportunities as someone that's analyzed so many different partnership possibilities? What are some other areas that you would advise Tiki and AIA, maybe at a high level, look at further expanding that partnership online?
If you look at Vietnam, I think a partnership like the one between AIA and Tiki makes a lot of sense. It is a very underinsured and underprotected market. Partially that is a very young population, partially it's the rapid stage of economic development. In order to fulfill that mission, Misa, that you mentioned of longer, better, healthier lives, it actually requires to engage with customers early on in different ways than the traditional insurance model. Tiki has something which is quite unique because as a digital platform, Tiki has lots of users. It has an engagement mode with these users. People spend time on the mobile app looking, searching for product. It has data about its users and how they engage in the digital platform. It also has use cases, for example, that can lend themselves towards insurance protection, financial services related needs, right? So it's a great set of an entry point to talk to a much broader set of potential customers that have needs than you can do with a traditional bank assurance or agency model, where you're very limited in how you can really converse, particularly with younger consumers. Insurance is not a product where most customers wake up in the morning and say, I need to buy insurance. You might be buying a motorcycle helmet, for example. So that tells you you're maybe a bit worried about protection. How do I then build on this knowledge to actually keep you safe? Are there then broader awareness that I, for example, can create, right? So those are elements that within a Tiki ecosystem we can create. In Asia, actually, I think the partnerships model is still relatively new. We have seen it in China happening quite a bit over the last 2-3 years. We've also started to see it happen in some European American markets. But overall, I think what Tiki and AIA are embarking on here is still very much at the forefront of innovation, right? So to get it right, I think a very close collaboration working model will be required.
In your experience, Rafael, working with big, small-scale companies, what sort of challenges and opportunities these partnerships involving big-scale companies have? What do they need to know before going and committing to these things? Because, you know, money is on the line, time is on the line, all these big things.
It requires kind of a very close working model in order to achieve reliability and innovation, right? And it's what I'm seeing in the partnership between Tiki and AIA. Also lots of learnings along the way, of course. One crucial thing that you need is firstly a strategic alignment around what is the objectives that the partners share, getting the partnership off the ground, what is the timeline, and then how do you translate that into intermediate goals, milestones. That then links you back to how you allocate resources. But it also is a very important point around a joint working model. I think a quite agile way of working that I see that the Tiki and AIA have established with the teams working together in a joint integrated team in an agile way. And that really helps on both innovation and reliability, because you need to be innovative to get the right type of new products out to clients. You need to be innovative in how you communicate with customers around insurance. But you also need to build journeys that are very reliable. So they work for the customers, they deliver what they want to have. So very close way of working. And then it's new capabilities. So new capabilities around analytics, digital marketing, creating digital enabled insurance propositions. And that's really about combining skill sets between teams. So for example, on the Tiki side, there is a great understanding of customers, but now we need to look at them from the perspective of an insurance company, different insights around how to look at customers and what needs they have. Conversely, around how do we engage customers in journeys really requires a very close collaboration between experts on the A side and then the folks on the Tiki side who are implementing, creating these journeys within the actual Tiki platform. So close working model, dedicated capabilities, and linked to a strategic understanding between the two partners and a commitment to make things work together. Those, I would say, are kind of the critical elements that you need to have in place in order to launch an at-scale partnership fast.
That sums up today's webinar, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Big thanks to Raphael, Rich, and Ha again. If you have further questions, we'll try to get to them here at the Vietcetera team. Look out for the next webinar series with AIA and Vietcetera. See you guys. Bye-bye.